YouTube. Mr. Kane coming at you live from the studio. So, what we've got today, we are doing climate change. It is our last topic before midterms or finals. So, here are the questions. When is your birthday? If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? And then, why is this cartoon funny? So, we have a scuba diver who just lost all of his oxygen tanks. And he just said, "What do you mean, oops? That stuff doesn't grow on trees, you know?" Why is that funny? Why is that like ironic? Try and think about it. Pause the video now and answer the questions in the Monday box. Next, what we have for today, some announcements. If you ever need help out for tutoring after school, Monday through Thursday, we can go over missing work that you have. Also, pick your student IDs Monday through Friday this week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. if you got your picture taken. Also, several people need to take the respiration project and quiz from last week. Here's the grade distribution. The max score is 15. The median score is 12. Average was like 11. Most people missed the respiration outputs, so we're going to go over that right now. Here is a student-made project, and I really want to highlight it. What is cellular respiration? So cellular respiration is a process that gives organisms energy we need to live and run. Where does respiration take place? The mitochondria. What do we need? What are the two things we need? Oxygen. We breathe in oxygen. We eat glucose. What are the three things that we get out? This is what a lot of people missed. We get out carbon dioxide, we exhale it, we get out water and energy in the form of ATP. All organisms need respiration for energy. We all need to use ATP. Here are some sample questions. What is the respiration process and what organisms can do it? And then does respiration have a major effect on all organisms or only certain ones? Here are the answers. And then remember, you could get extra credit by finding a meme and explain why it's funny. Today, we're going to go over our knowledge of climate change and explain why California has so many wildfires. So that's what you should be able to answer by the end of the day. Why are there more wildfires than ever in California? So in your notes, go to Monday, climate change notes. It should look something like this. Put your name on it. And on the teacher side, you'll have a video right here. Why does Cali have so many wildfires? And then you'll answer. So answer the questions as we go through the notes. And then find the pictures where needed. So next. So if you remember from Friday's lesson, California has a lot of wildfires due to our dry climate and lack of water. And remember the three things fires need: heat, oxygen, fuel. California's getting a lot more of the heat, and we have plenty of dry plants that are great fuel for fires. Cool, but why is California getting drier than ever? So right here we have a graph of carbon dioxide and then a graph of average temperature. Think about it for a few seconds. What do you notice about these two graphs? How do you think that they're related? CO2 emissions right here, or CO2 in the air, and then temperature? You should have noticed that carbon dioxide actually is related to temperature. CO2 makes the earth hotter. I'm going to go over how. But first, you should know CO2 sources. These are things that add CO2 into the air. And carbon sinks are the opposite. They absorb the CO2. So just like a water faucets add water, sinks suck it in. Carbon sources add CO2, sinks absorb CO2 from the air. So source or sink, cars, what do you think? Cars should be a source. Factories and cars burn carbon and release CO2 into the air. Trees, carbon source or sink? You should know that it's a sink because it's absorbing the CO2. Humans, animals, carbon sources or sinks. It's doing this during respiration, so you release CO2. So that's a carbon source. Oceans, carbon source or sink. You should see CO2 is going into the water, so oceans are carbon sinks. And then the greenhouse effect. So the greenhouse effect is carbon dioxide in the atmosphere absorbing heat and warms the earth. So here's a really good analogy. So the earth is basically covered in CO2 blankets. The CO2 blankets are trapping the heat. Last thing in your notes, why can the greenhouse effect be good? Hint, without the greenhouse effect, we'd be in the ice age. Why can the greenhouse effect be bad? That's what we're dealing with right now.